Now, what is vector, right? So vector is an ordered collection of basic data type of a given length. The only key thing there is all the element of a vector must be of the identical data type, that is homogeneous data structure. Vectors are one dimension data structure. Now, vector, we know that what do you mean by vector, right? So vector we represent like this is a type of 1D array. Okay, 1D array type of things are there. So we generally say like this and having some values, or it might be this or having some value. We see it is a vector. Now in this, it says that in the vector, you put the same type of data type, means it should be homogeneous. This is the constraint in the vector. Whatever value you put, you should have the same data type. And vector is a one-dimensional data structure, right? So let's create a vector. So creating a vector will use a function called C. So we'll use a function here. So we'll create a vector V with the value. Let's say we are putting the value 10, 20, 30, 40 in that way. Okay. And this we are printing. We'll print the value of V there. Okay. So let's run this. So here it is creating the vector, and this is how the vector will look like. So this is your vector, and it is of numeric type, starting with the indexing value 1, ending with the 4. Unlike the C++, where the indexing is starting from 0. So you know that when I put, let's say this is V, let's assume that this is V, and I want to find out the first element. So what I write V of 0. Then I'll get this first element. First element is 10. So it will give me the value as 10. Now here in vector, this is starting from 1. So this will be, the index will be 1. This will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In that way, it is not going from 0 to 6. It is going from 1 to 7. So this is the difference here in the R with vector data type or vector data structure. Okay. Now in this, so this is of numeric type, right? If I want to find out the type of it, type of V, this particular V. No. Type of V. So it will be of double type because we haven't put it L there. Now, if I'll put L there, then what will be the type here? So the type will be the integer. See, it is of integer array. Integer vector it is creating from 1 to 4 element, and the integer value is this. Now, let's say I kept some integer and I kept some double. Now, in this case, what will happen? Because we know that it says that the value should be homogeneous in nature, right? So what will happen? Now, when I run it, then you can understand that what will happen. Now, the first of all, it will run or not. The answer is it will run, but it will convert the data type to its higher data type. So double, so it will create the integer to double. So if these two 20 and 30 are the double type, is a numeric type, then 10 and 40, which was an integer type, will be converted into double type. So you see, it is of numeric type right now. Let's talk about some other values. Let's say I have put a 10 there. Let's say I put the numeric value there, and let's say I'll put uh, some character there. Now what will happen? These are all heterogeneous values, right? This is your what in numeric, this is your integer, this is a character, this is again integer. Now in this case, what will happen? In this case also it is going to run. There is no problem on that running, but it will convert whole thing to character type. Now here character has the higher precedence than the numeric and the integer. So once it will got the character, it will convert all to character. Now let's take a complex also somewhere. Now again, it is going to convert into character. Character has the higher precedence than all. So it will convert to the higher precedence, but it will convert it to that particular. See, there is a double quote is coming, means it is of character type. So it is creating a homogeneous collection of data, even though you have entered different type of data type. It doesn't matter. Okay. Or you can have, let's say, true or false, right? Let's say you are putting value true here. So then also if you run, it will be converting into character. So I hope you understood the vector here. So we can create different type of vector based on our requirement. Okay. Let's talk about accessing the element in the vector. So how we can access the element of any vector. So I can have, let's say I want to access the third element. Okay. So I should write like this. Okay. So if I'll run this, it's going to fetch the third element. So third element is A. So it is fetching me the third element here. What else we can apply? We can modify once we created the vector. So the vector also we can do the modification. So it is not like it is immutable. We can mutate it. We can modify it. Okay. So let's say in the place of this this value, I want to put some other value. So in the fourth place, I want to put let's say 30 instead of that. Okay. And after that, I'll again print and I'll run first of all. So this I'll remove and I'll run it again. Right. Now you can see in place of this complex value means 40, comma, so 40 plus 4 iota, I have put it 30 there. So I can mutate whenever I require to mutate, right? So mutation could be easily done. Now we can use different type of functions also. So one of the functions which are very much useful in vector is called short, and short will be very much useful for the numeric one. So let's say I'm putting all numeric value there. It will be easy to understand. Okay, so it is already in shorted form. Let me some values there. Okay. So now here we can use a function called short function. This particular short function is going to short that particular vector. And also what we can do is we can put that particular shorted value into that vector itself, so that if we'll print the value of v, we'll get the shorted value. So, yes. Now you can see this with the help of the value that we have is 60, 10, 3, 40, and 35. Now, after shorting it, it will be 3, 10, 34, 40, and 60. So shorting could be used. Shorting even could be used by of all our characters. So character wise, they will do the shorting and all. Next thing in the shorting, we have increasing order and decreasing orders. By default, it is in increasing order. Let's say you want to keep this into decreasing order. So you have to have apply here decreasing equal to true. So that you have to do here, so that it will not convert into ascending order, it will convert into descending order, right? So let's run it again. Now if you see the value after that, see it is putting into the descending order. So 60, 40, 34, 10, and 3. Previously it was in ascending order, 3, 10, 34, 40, and 60. Right now it has been changed. So the short a function is very much useful in the vector. So this is all about the vector data structure.